Good morning. Welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. This portion is brought to you in part by Invader Coffee. Use the code Snowman at invadercoffee.com for a 15% discount at your purchase. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Everybody's been talking to Shane and I about what team they think is a dynasty. Kansas City Chiefs, hello. San Francisco 49ers of the 80s, the New England Patriots. But I'll tell you a team that's a real dynasty. And that team is the North Dakota State Bison. And yes, I said it right. The S is pronounced like a Z, Bison. In a thriller last night, 35-32 over Montana State, the Bison thwarted the Bobcats from A, a perfect season, B, their first national championship since 1984,
Ooh.
and C, they claimed, you ready for this number? Their 10th national championship.
That is insane.
That, my friends, is a dynasty. And then some. And remember, North Dakota State has gone through two different coaches.
That just tells you how strong their recruiting is.
And that just tells you, here's a word that Victor loves to use, the culture of NDSU.
True. I mean,
they don't play scared.
No, they don't. I mean, to go through two coaches plus all the recruitment classes and to have this much of a dynasty going on, that's all culture up there, man.
They finished 14-2 on the year. Cam Miller and Bryce Lance, and that last name should sound familiar, were the stars of the show. Miller went 19 of 22 for an even 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he added 121 yards, 2 scores on 18 carries.
So this man threw for 200 on the airborne and then rushed for another $120 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Who does he think he is? Steve Young?
Yeah, but right-handed.
Jeez.
321 yards of offense last night. And for the Bobcats, Tommy Mellott wasn't no slouch either. He totaled 330 yards of offense. But North Dakota took control of this early.
Yeah.
Led 14-0 at the end of one. And that was that. I think that was game, set, match right there. They led 14-0 at the end of one and never looked back. They never let Montana State have a chance. Victor Locke is with us from Chicago. He says, winning cultures win big, baby. You better believe it. Chicago Bulls, anyone in the 90s?
Yep.
And he said, come to Dallas. Can he come to Dallas, please? No, he ain't leaving.
You don't want to deal with Gerald's BS.
He's not leaving that culture.
You don't want to deal with Gerald's BS, but I don't think anyone else wants to either.
And in 4 words, I don't blame him.
Facts.
Listen to some of these numbers. 401 total yards for North Dakota State. 393 for Montana State. North Dakota State, as mentioned, Cam Miller was 19 of 22. Miller didn't do so bad either. He was 13 of 24. And the best part about this game, there was nary a turnover in the game.
Nothing like having a clean sheet.
Each team averaged over 5 yards per rush. 5.6 for North Dakota State, 5.4 for Montana State. That's crazy.
Dude, if you're chopping your first downs in half, that's saying a lot, dude.
794 yards of total offense in the game. 794 yards of total offense. And they didn't break a sweat. Bryce Lance caught 9 for 107 plus a touch. Tommy Mellett caught, no, excuse me, Tommy Mellett. Now, we mentioned Bryce Miller's, Cam Miller. Why did I say Bryce Miller? Cam Miller for North Dakota State, 18 carries, 121 yards. Tommy Mellett had 14 carries for 135 yards. That's insane.
That's wild, dude.
That's nuts. And it's the Bison who broke out to a 14-0 lead and didn't look back.
I mean, when your running game is averaging pretty much a first down per rush, that's wild. That's just the running game.
That's the culture of a running game. That's the culture of a running game. When you can get 5 yards per carry, that's the culture of a run. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
That's wild.
And remember, these teams ran mostly out of shotgun or out of what Chris Alt made famous at Nevada, the pistol. A lot of teams in the NFL need to take a lesson from what happened in Frisco, Texas last night.
Yeah.
A lot of teams need to take notes. Shamar Brown for North Dakota State carried the ball 17 times for 77 yards. They had 36 total rushes last night, did North Dakota State. Cam Miller had 18. Shamar Brown had 17. And the receiver got one on a reverse. But you need, in this day and age, if you're going to run all these passing plays, you need to do it the way the Chiefs are doing it in the NFL. The 49ers did it back in the day, and the 49ers perfected it. Run the football out of a passing offense.
Yeah.
The next 2 years, the national championship will be decided in Nashville, Tennessee, on the campus of Vanderbilt University at First Bank Stadium, because Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, is going to undergo some changes. So we'll see how it was loud. I can tell you it was loud.
Yeah.
That won't happen, says Victor, because of how protected the pass-first culture in the NFL, mainly the Lamar Jacksons of the world. San Francisco doesn't think that way. Kansas City doesn't think that way. They run. They run. They run. And that's the key. They run. A team that runs the football is okay in my book. And North Dakota State and Montana State and most teams in the they officially call it the football championships subdivision. I call it Division I AA. I'm old school. Same with Detroit. Absolutely, Victor. Same with the Detroit Lions. The best 1-2 punch in the NFL. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can run the football, you're going to do some great things. And that will open up a whole lot. Look at how George Seifert tailored it for Steve Young when he took over.
True.
Bill Walsh set the whole damn thing up.
Yeah, and then it just fit Young like a glove once they made a couple of minor adjustments.
And the only adjustment the receivers had to make is that Young was a lefty.
Yeah. Ball's going to come out at a slightly different angle, but hey, it's still going to get there.
Still going to get there. Speaking of Steve Young, I'm going to have a little fun and paying a little tribute to Steve Young with one of my favorite plays I ever saw him make.
Oh.
And it occurred against the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh boy.
In 1993, I think it was week 2, Niners were driving. And to show you how wicked Steve Young was, y'all remember that 49-yard run against Minnesota in 88, where he broke every tackle in the book and then stumbled his last 5 yards.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, why don't I just show you? I think being the operative word, God help us. I have that clip, but he was scrambling around like crazy. And then at the last minute, he decided to throw the football. It ricocheted off of Scott Case, and Steve Young was waiting for it. How do you figure that out?